has passed. So I have been assigned for this inter-semester course project management, and the main problem is that very few, only 2 students have registered for this course so far. And another thing is that we have no idea still now that how will be the exam pattern. I mean, whether there will be the traditional type of FAT exam, whether it will be 50 marks or 100 marks, or whether it will be not at all that kind of thing. So we don't know, we have no idea. And VIT authority is also not aware about the fact, because uh, they will also have to follow the central government guideline. Okay, so that's why it is a major problem that what will be the pattern of exam, we have no idea. So that's why we need to be very much flexible. Okay, we need to make uh, the things in such a way so that we are prepared for the FAT exam, uh, and we are also prepared for the internal exam. So in this way we need to take the preparation. So what I have decided, that uh, in project management, it is actually very practical oriented subject rather than the theoretical concepts. In many institutes, like in foreign institutes, and even in uh, India, the IITs, IIMs, and in other institutes as well, they are they have some options, like they can do the course of project management, or even they can they can you know uh, do some internship in some company. Okay, and they can make some report based on a particular project. So that is more uh, practical based thing. Okay, and more applicable. So what I'm trying to say, that this is much more practical oriented subject, or practical oriented course, because the project management, this subject, though there are some general ideas or general concepts or tools and techniques, but it actually varies based on the particular sector. For example, uh, suppose if you work, if your background is a civil engineering, and if you work in a construction company, if you are dealing with suppose a bridge construction, or for example high rise building construction, the way you will deal with a project, the same way you cannot deal with a software based project. Okay, so that's why hand-on experience is more viable, or hand-on experience is more relevant and pertinent rather than the theoretical knowledge and experience. Obviously theoretical knowledge is also important, I'm not saying it's not important, but the theoretical concepts, most of the theoretical concepts you will automatically learn when you will work in the industry. Suppose if your background is software engineering or computer science engineering, even if you do not study the course project management, you can easily you can if you work in a project, you will learn a lot of things which are more relevant or pertinent, and in context to your area. Okay, the same is for the construction management. Okay. So that's why there are, and also, different software are related to project management, which is also quite interesting to notice. For example, the civil, in the civil domain, in project management, they prefer a software called Primavera. Okay, Primavera software is widely used, whose background is civil engineering, or suppose if somebody is in construction management, you will see that there is an institution named as NICMAR, National Institute of Construction Management and Research, which is absolutely dedicated to the project management, civil based project management or construction based project management. Okay. So these things are there. So that's why hand-on experience is more relevant, what I would like to say. So what I will do, I will ask you to do some assignments. Okay. So you make some assignments. One assignment will be based on the basic concepts of project management. You will name the title. The title will be Basic Concepts in Project Management. Okay. And you will make a PowerPoint presentation on, there will be 10 to 15 slides will be there. Okay, including introduction and thank you slide. So you will make a PowerPoint presentation on that, and the basics idea. That means suppose what is a project, what is project management, what are the steps of project management, what are the sub steps of project management, what are the importance of project management. Okay, so you will make one PPT. So this is the first assignment. Bharadwaj has joined. So I would like to just, this video will be obviously uploaded on YouTube, and I will also share the link so that if somebody misses some class, he can go through the YouTube videos and can understand that what has happened in the class. Okay, so there will be no problem. So what I have said, since Bharadwaj has just now joined, I would like to say, Bharadwaj, that what we have discussed with Sagar, that project management is it's kind of subject which is much more practical oriented subject. Okay, so for example, in many institutes, many academic institutes like IITs and in IIMs, they have two options. One option is that you go through the course and you get the grade, and another option is that you do some internship, you get some practical knowledge, you submit a report and you get the grade. So there are two options are being provided, because project management is much more relevant to the particular sector. Okay, for example, the way you will handle a construction based project management, if your background is civil engineering, in the same way you won't deal with a software based project. Okay, if your background is computer science engineering or IT. Okay, so there are some differences. So that's why the hand-on experience is much more applicable. So here I am also focusing on the hand-on experience based thing. But the problem is that in this particular course, okay, still now we have no idea that how the exams will be conducted. Okay, what will be the pattern of the FAT? For example, whether it will be conducted in 50 marks or 100 marks. So that we have no idea about that. And it may be some other pattern they may follow, because the VIT authority is also not sure about it, because they will have to follow the central government guidelines. Okay, So that's why we will make the course very flexible. We will make the course in such a way so that we can be prepared. Uh, we can be prepared in any cases. Okay. So what I am trying to say that you make first, now at this point of time, you make two assignments. Okay, so one assignment will be based on the basic concepts of project management. You make one assignment on basic concepts of project management. There will be 10 to 15 slides will be there. Even if you make 10 to 12 slides, it is okay. Okay. Uh, Including introduction and Thanksgiving slide, you make one PPT. You name the PPT as a basic concepts of project management. Okay, basic concepts of project management. And under that, you write what is the definition of project, what is project management, okay, and what are the steps of project management, what are the sub steps of project management, what are the benefits of project management. All these things you mention or address. Okay. And your second assignment is you make a case study. Same, you make a 10 to 15 slides. Okay. And you make a case study based on project management. It will be nice if you make the case study based on your own domain. For example, if your background is civil engineering and if you give the case study on construction management, it is nice. Or if your background is software engineering and if you make a case study on a software based project, it is nice. But even if you take some other example, I have no objection. I have no problem. If you take your own domain or area to provide the example or case study of project management, that is good. But even if you don't do that, uh, it is okay. It is there is no hindrance. Okay, it is not mandatory. I am not making it mandatory. Okay, so you do these kinds of assignments. Okay. So now this is the first thing that I would like to say. These two assignments I am giving to both of you. The second thing is that there are some basic concepts of project management. So today and in the next class, I will announce the class in the WhatsApp group. I will talk about the basic concepts of project management. Okay. And in the subsequent classes, I will give lecture on some tools and techniques which are very much applied, which are very much useful in the concept of project management. Now try to understand that in project, under the course of project management, some concepts are there which we will automatically learn when you will uh, work in the industry. Those concepts you will be automatically learned. So those are not a big deal. But there are some mathematical concepts or tools and techniques, like for example, the CPM and PART method, critical path method and program evaluation and review technique. Okay. So which is actually known as network analysis, which is a part of network analysis. So that thing, that mathematical concept, or for example the capital budgeting, like you will see that in PVs, their net present value accounting rate of return. Okay, so there are some like those things are there. Okay. And you will also find that line of balance method are there. So all these things are basically the mathematical tools and techniques. So those mathematical tools and techniques, it is very difficult to learn when you will actually work in the project or in real life. Okay. So those tools and techniques you should learn in this course. It will be easier for you to handle when you will be dealing with your actual, when you will work in industry so it will be easier for you to understand, because you won't get that much of time to understand the mathematical concepts or mathematical tools and techniques when you will be working in the project in industry. But obviously the theoretical concepts you will automatically learn, that is not a big deal. So I will, in the subsequent classes, I will discuss, after completing the basics of project management, I will discuss some of the tools and techniques, and some of the mathematical concepts I will discuss, and I will notify you uh, through the WhatsApp group that during that time the meeting is going to be arranged. Okay. So what will happen, what will be the benefit of it? Say for example, if suppose if the FAT exam, if the higher authority, VIT authority decides that FAT exam will be conducted and in 50 marks, or suppose if the maximum marks is 100, then at least I can make some questions and you can answer it. Okay. But if I do not discuss these topics, okay, it will be very difficult for you to answer those questions. Okay. So that's why I will and you try to finish this assignment by this month. Okay. So there are not this month, I'm not saying this month, today is 19th. So there are sometimes, for example, you take 2 weeks, around 5th December you try to complete the assignments, you try to submit these assignments. Okay. So 5th December is you will get 2 weeks, more than 2 weeks time. You will be getting to complete the project, and hardly 10 to 15 slides. It will make hardly 3 to 4 hours, 2 to 3 hours hardly it will take. Okay, it's not a big deal, because basic, and the most important point is that I have already shared you this PPT. Okay, in the form of PDF. I have already shared it. Okay, so that you can also get some ideas about the basic concepts and mathematical tools and techniques. And if you want to follow some books, okay, so that is also available. You can see here that these books are given: Project Management by K. Nagarajan, and another is Project Management. This is actually Taylor and Francis group. This book is also there, Nicholas and Stein. Okay. And also you will find some other books are there: Project Management, Mailer, Prentice Hall. Okay. But this book is very good, A Guide to the Project Management Body of Knowledge, PM Bock. Okay. So this is a very good book that you can follow. Okay. And also I have also provide you some links from where you can collect those books. Maybe all the books are not freely available, but you can use one website. Okay, I will give you the link from where you can download different books of project management. Okay, so that link I will provide you in the WhatsApp group. You can download those books, and also you can follow my PPT. Okay. So what is the motto of project management? The motto of project management is work smart, not hard. Okay. This is the basic motto of project management, and you need to complete your project by time. Okay. Using minimum resources. Okay. But you should deliver the quality at its best level. That is the motto of project management. So what is the definition of project? It is a temporary endeavor undertaken to accomplish a unique product or service. It is a series of activities. Okay. It is basically a series of activities, so which is known as a project. Here it has a specific objective to be completed within certain specifications, have defined start and end dates, have funding limits, consume resources. Okay. What is project management? It is the planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of company resources for a relatively short-term objective that has been established to complete specific goals and objectives. Knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques are applied to project activities in order to meet project requirements. Okay. So, what is actually project management? You can see that suppose you need to make a building, or you need to make a software. So what you do first, you need to do some basic things. Okay, for example, if you talk about a software, so some you will see that one software, for example, one antivirus, it comprises of different small files. Okay, so first you need to make all those files, and then you actually assemble all those files. So similar in case of construction also. Okay, so you need to, there are different tasks. Okay, there are different tasks, like you need to observe that whether the project is feasible or not. Out of a lot of projects, what kind of project you need to select, and which projects you don't need to select, and most of the projects actually you don't go through. Okay, so that is also one thing. And because the surveying is very important in project, because if it is found that the particular that construction is possible, or the software making is possible after surveying, then only we start the journey or actual journey of project. Okay, and so in a project there are some tasks. Okay, suppose the surveying, or different tasks, or you there are different segments. Okay, you particularly follow when you are dealing with a project. So each particular task, okay, suppose task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4, there could be thousands, hundreds of tasks could be there. So all these tasks will have some time limits. Okay, from there will be a start date, that on this time this project will be, this particular task will be starting, and on this particular day it will be finished. Okay, or it may so happen there will be a time limit. Okay, that means from this day to this day, within this to date to this date, this particular task needs to be started, and within by this particular time this task has to be finished. Okay, so in this way there are different segments, or there are different tasks that you need to complete in a project. But all the tasks, you must understand that it consumes time and it consumes resources. Okay, and also the scope is also very important. That's why this is known as the triple constraint. You can see this triangle. This triangle is actually it is representing the triple constraint: scope, time, and the resources, because they are the main component of a project. Okay, scope goals means what is the project trying to accomplish. Time goals means how long should it take to complete. Cost goals means what should it cost. Okay, because the resources always actually whenever you are trying to take some resources or consume resources, you are basically, you need to pay money for that. So cost is involved in this particular matter. Okay, so this is the triple constraint. Okay, and uh, suppose how can you determine the success of a project. Okay, so you can see that there are some measurement of project success within specifications, within allotted time period, within the budget costs accepted by the customer or user, minimal and mutual scope changes within corporate culture and without disturbing organizational workflow. Organizational structure is also important, an important factor for success of a matrix in specific cases. Okay, so there are a lot of dimensions of project success. The first thing is that within specifications. Okay, so what is actually required by the customer, whether you have made your product or whether you have made your delivered your service in such a way. So as per the demand of the customers or as per the specification, that is the most important thing of a deliverable of a project. Okay, and you should also deliver it by time. And sometimes it is noticed that many a times that a project is delayed because of lot of factors. In many cases it is seen that suppose you just think about here in Calcutta, the metro railway project is there, the extension project. Metro rail is already there in Calcutta, but it should have been completed by the 2020 December. Okay, the extended project. But now within 2020, this is not project, because they are having different issues. They have faced some legal challenges. That is one thing. They have faced the pandemic period. This is there is that is another challenge. And the third thing is that the construction oriented challenges which they have never thought of, those kinds of challenges they have also faced. So that's why they are there is having a delay. Okay, so these kinds of things are there. Okay, so within time you should complete your project. That is very important. And sometimes it is also noticed that if you are unable to finish the project by time, then some more resources need to be used. For example, more labors are required. Okay, or more instruments or more machines are required. And for that reason the cost also goes up. Okay, we will see that in project crashing. There is a concept of project crashing, so we will see that later on. Okay, so within the budgeted cost, it is also a very important thing that within you should utilize minimum resources. Okay, and another thing is within corporate culture and without disturbing organizational workflow. That is also important. And and here another important factor is that environmental factor, which is known as environment. Means not only natural environment but also the uh, the environment of the industry, particular industry, or disturbing the organizational workflow. It also means by that. Okay, suppose when you are constructing a project, the natural environment has to be taken care of. Okay, so for example, suppose in Sikkim, there is going on greenfield project. It is known as a greenfield project. Okay, so the impact on the environment, the authority is trying to keep the minimum, to keep or to have the minimum damage to the environment. Okay, minimum impact on the environment they're trying to have. And also the organizational structure, it has also an important factor for the success of a project in some specific cases. For example, matrix organizational structure is the most effective organizational structure of a project driven company working at multi locations over the globe. Okay, so suppose here, if you can see that this is the example. Okay, this is the example uh, of a matrix organizational structure. You can see here under the general manager or under this kind of higher authority, maybe it may not be GM, it may be BC or something else. So the top management will be there, and under the top management or middle management, you can see that there are some there is engineering department, operations, finance, and others, HR or something like that. Okay, so they are taking care of the functional responsibility for a particular location. Suppose the operations manager, okay, the operations manager for this company, suppose simultaneously, suppose one project is going on in Calcutta, another project is going on in Chennai, and another project is going on in Delhi. Okay, so what will happen? the operations manager, he will take care of the project of the Calcutta, Chennai, Delhi, all the projects he will take care of, but only for the operations part. He will not take care of the finance part or HR part. Suppose the HR manager, he is taking care of the project of the HR of the Calcutta, Chennai, and Delhi. Okay, so he is actually having the all the HR related controls he is doing. And here is the project manager of Calcutta, manager of Chennai, and project manager of Delhi. So they are taking care of all the activities: engineering, operations, finance, HR. Overall, they are taking care of all the activities. But the project manager of X, or that means project manager of Calcutta, is not taking care of the projects of Chennai or Delhi. And project manager of Chennai is not taking care of the project of Delhi or Calcutta. Okay, so in this way. So if the company has an organizational structure, this kind of organizational structure, it looks like a matrix, because the project managers has the responsibility of the project for a particular location. But here, these managers, they have actually having the functional responsibility for a particular function across different locations. Okay, so this is if some particular organization has this kind of organizational structure, it will be known as the matrix organizational structure. Okay, so this kind of organizational structure is very effective of a project driven company working at multi locations over the globe. Okay, so this kind, so we can say that the company, the organizational structure of the company, it has also an effect to the project. Okay, so so now I am going to end the class. Okay, so if you have any query, you can ask me through WhatsApp. Okay, and the assignments I have given to you, you please do those assignments and you submit it by 5th of December.